The topic of gun control is a touchy subject for most people. A well regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This is a sentence that has been at the heart of the debate for multiple decades on whether or not more or less gun control will help save lives. There are many statistics and evidence from history, past and present, that can serve as a factual basis for this debate. The American Revolution serves as the start point of the importance of an armed population. The 13 colonies of the United States were able to fight off a tyrannical government of the British Empire, which at the time was the largest power on the globe. Armed civilians made up most of the fighting force against the global superpower, whom of which were dubbed the militia. After victory over the British Empire, the forefathers of the U.S. saw the importance of an armed population to prevent such an occurrence from happening again, hence the creation of the Second Amendment. Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely, is quoted by John Dahlberg Acton. Hitler rising to power is a perfect explanation of what power can do to corrupt a person. In March 1938, Hitler and his Nazi regime crafted the Waffengesetz, which created a gun registry and had restrictions applied to handguns. It also prohibited the possession of weapons to certain groups such as gypsies and the homosexual population. It was further expanded upon in November 1938 when the Verordnung gegen die Waffenbesitz der Juden, or Regulation Against Jews' Possession of Weapons. This, in turn, was a way for Hitler and the Nazi regime to basically control the German population with little resistance. One of the ways he was able to do all of this was through the Reichstag Fire Decree, some years earlier, which nullified key liberties to the German citizens. These rights were the freedoms of expression, press, and to organize and assemble. It also violated the privacy of postal, telegraphic, and telephonic communication. This is everything that the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights is outlined. Andrew Fletcher was quoted as saying as such, "Arms are the only true badge of liberty. The possession of arms is the distinction between a free man from a slave." Gun control and crime rates go hand in hand. Statistically, the places with the highest gun control laws, Chicago and Detroit, also have some of the highest crime rates in the country. In Detroit, the violent crime rate of 1,965 violent crimes per 100,000 people is ranked to have the second highest murder rate in the nation. In Detroit, in order to purchase a firearm, you must get approval from local law enforcement twice before starting the process. Once approved by local law enforcement, citizens must complete a questionnaire. After completing the questionnaire, they must then find the weapon of choice in 10 days, or else they must start over again. From there, they must take it to local law enforcement and get the sale recorded to receive a safety inspection certificate. Otherwise, they could be arrested for a gun violation. These hoops make it extremely difficult to protect oneself. Recently, in 2015, a woman from New Jersey by the name of Carol Bowen was killed by her ex-boyfriend whilst waiting for a gun permit so that she may protect herself. She felt as if her life was in danger and went to the point of getting a restraining order, installed security cameras, and an alarm system for her house. She completed all the necessary steps to receive her permit and patiently waited. New Jersey law states that permit petitioners are supposed to receive word no longer than 30 days' time whether or not they're allowed the permit. Ms. Bowen waited 42 days before she was murdered by her ex-boyfriend. At the end of the day, the goal of most people on either side of the debate is to save lives, and each side just sees a different solution to the problem. Due to statistics and verifiable evidence, however, criminals who by definition are people who don't follow laws benefit from gun control laws the most, as it makes their criminal activities much safer for them to carry out, as evidenced by the discussion of Detroit and New Jersey. It is reasonable to conclude from the information that has been presented that more legislation will not necessarily lead to a decrease in violent crime rate. This can be epitomized in the great quote from George Santayana: "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it."